What's approaching the supreme moment, reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? All right, let's go ahead and start another session and test out another unit. This time it's going to be the Optimistic Warrior Yamcha card that came about with the, Bulma's Finding Mr. Right competition/campaign. Global ended up getting this guy, so I know I did a showcase on this guy a while back by using a friend, but let's go ahead and do a proper showcase that he deserves on an optimal team setup. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. So let me cover the stats a little bit. So he's got the leader skill of all types, Ki +2, HP attack and defense +2000. Very irrelevant leader skill, not much use there, but he does have the Wolf Fang Fist as a super attack that'll cause supreme damage to enemy. And then his passive skill will add +3 Ki, and then great chance of attack increasing of 77%. Link skills, he's got Z Fighters that adds 15% to attack. Turtle Skull will add 500 to attack and defense by the same amount. Speedy Retribution will add 300 to attack. Infighter will add attack of 10% and then reduce the enemy's defense by 10%. And then finally, Rival Duo will add 10% to attack, and then the attacked enemy's defense will decrease by 15%. Maxed out, he does have the following stats: HP level of 9274, attack at 10,105, and defense of 6,073. He's got the 12 key multiplier of 130%. Alright, so let's kind of test out how this unit is. I mean, it's going to be funny as hell just to run him on a Super Saiyan 4 Goku team setup and just see how well he actually does. I mean, anything over 1 million in damage for this guy is more than enough, honestly. And I'm going to go ahead and say, I am still waiting on an LR Yamcha card. I've been waiting for like well over a year and a half, honestly. I mean, around the time right before LR Hercule was released, I was expecting to see an LR Yamcha card. Now, granted, a similar troll unit kind of came about with the Hercule version, but I was really hoping a Yamcha card would come out as an LR status. I think another one would be LR Krillin. That'd be pretty awesome to see that. And then I'll probably do a video on this and talk about it, but I mean, there's several LR cards that I would love to see in Dokkan Battle introduced. But enough of that. I mean, this is a showcase/test for this Strength Yamcha card anyway, so let's see how he does. I mean, 675,000 against Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I mean, that's pretty amazing for the type of character this guy is, And for the most part, you will see him linked up with Master Roshi, and I'll keep, other units in the rotation. Kaba does provide, 40% increase to attack and defense for super strength type, so definitely, some advantages there. And then if you got like Ultimate Gohan, I actually did include Toppo on here because against the extreme types, he does reduce their damage by I can't remember if it's 30 or 40%. At the same time, he'll increase the super type allies attack and defense by 30%. So I mean, definitely worthwhile to have in there. That's kind of why, though. That's the only reason why he's included in there, honestly. But every little bit helps. I mean, Ultimate Gohan does have Z Fighters and the M Fighter Link skill, so that definitely does help. Yamcha kind of maximizes attack as well. I mean, it's definitely short of a mil so far, but I mean, 764,000 is definitely, I mean, I can't really ask for more than that, you know what I'm saying? So it's nice to see Yamcha hitting that hard, honestly. Bandai definitely did a good job giving out these funny as hell type of units as part of that competition now. I don't know. I mean, was it schemed or was it staged or whatever? I mean, there's a lot of debate with that too. But I mean, either way, I mean, these two cards are more or less collection purposes. So, I mean, you know, there's not, it's not like, you know, Global and JP were competing against, you know, top tier units that only one version would get, you know, kind of thing. I mean, so it's all in fun at the end of the day. Well, he was able to hit 1.6 mil against Nays. I mean, that's a much weaker enemy, but regardless, I mean, the fact that he's able to hit that much, it's still respectable. Now, given it is a server test, so, you know, the stats are definitely inflated a little bit, plus the potential system levels are maxed out, so a little bit of an unrealistic factor there, but, you know, it's close enough to, you know, the max capabilities, so it's more or less having fun anyway. So we're running into a couple of type disadvantage situations, but, you know, hopefully critical activates and he still hits pretty decent. I think the max I've seen so far is 740-ish thousand with damage output, but, you know, with the critical he was able to hit for about 800,000. Without the critical, it definitely drops a lot, down to about 200,000. But, I mean, you know, the link skills aside, I mean, he could definitely be a decent unit. Now, are you going to rainbow this guy? I mean, probably not. I mean, there's much better units available, but for shits and giggles purposes, I mean, these are one of the cards that are meant to be maxed out, you know, as a troll card type of thing. I mean, you know what my mentality is. I mean, I recently just maxed out the monster carrot unit. I mean, there's no way in hell that's meant to be maxed out at rainbow status, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna have some fun. And I'm sure everybody has that one unit that no one would really consider rainbow status or whatever, but you do it anyway because you want to have fun. I mean, that's part of the game, is, you know, you gotta take a step back, enjoy yourself a little bit, and kind of troll, you know. But I will say he is definitely much more practical than, say, a rainbow version of Monster Carrot. I mean, he could definitely serve a decent purpose within a team compared to that guy. Alright, so it looks like we've got Dokkan mode against Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku. You know, we'll just have to see how he does. About 620,000. Respectable enough to be okay. I think honestly at this point with this type of unit, I mean, if he was able to hit for at least 350,000, I think that would be considered good. We'll have to switch it up to another Dokkan event after this. I mean, I know you guys are probably getting tired of seeing, you know, continuous tests on boss rush stages. I mean, I do try to mix it up a little bit, but it's just easier, you know, because you can go through it continuously throughout, you know, instead of having to, you know, look, like, basically just, instead of having to, like, pick each, you know, stage one by one, it's just easier that way, you know, just kind of go through it continuously. Alright, so this is going to be the Super Saiyan 3 Broly event. Obviously the first couple of battles will be type advantage, that's kind of why I chose this one. But yeah, I mean, let's just keep going and see how he does. So 710,000 without the critical, definitely real nice there. And then decent setup here. Now, unless it's a critical, he's not gonna, you know, really provide that much damage. But we'll just have to see what happens. But I'm definitely enjoying this one so far. I mean, it's always nice to see units like this maxed out and just, you know, running amok, you know, hitting pretty decent amounts, you know, kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, 590k, I mean, what more is there to say than that is more than acceptable, I mean, for this type of unit. Should get a pretty decent output here, though. I mean, Kaba does help out quite a bit with that 40%, so we'll have to see what happens. But so far, I mean, this guy's not too bad. Alright, so back to type advantage against the Omega Shenron, so we'll hopefully we'll see some decent output. I mean, so far I think the max I've seen is 1.6 million against Naze, which is a much weaker enemy, but I mean, overall he seems to be hitting consistently for about 500,000, I mean, which is more than enough to ask for this guy. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't know if I would recommend it necessarily, but I mean, it's definitely funny as hell seeing this shit. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and wrap it up, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You know, I love seeing maxed out units of this guy, you know, these types of units. So hopefully you enjoyed it too.